having us again this week. Just a couple of questions for you, same as before. First to start, Newcastle fell to their first defeat of the season last weekend against Manchester City, and the fixtures don't get any easier for Alan Partridge's men. With a 4-1 to draw and 8-1 to win, can they take advantage of Manchester United's indifferent recent form when they visit Old Trafford on Saturday?
Well, Manchester United's form is indifferent against Benfica in the Champions League as well as against Swansea last Saturday. They weren't really up for it. They weren't firing. Ferguson picked a very average team against Benfica. Rooney maybe wasn't fit. Hernandez didn't play. The defence looks all over the place. And Newcastle will present some threat to Manchester United. I wouldn't back Manchester United with your money at the moment until they show some real form and until they get a shape on their team. He's making too many changes. The defence looks very unsettled. So Newcastle will go there with a chance and with some belief, although traditionally Manchester United have, the whammy on them. I wouldn't have a bet on the match, and I would give Newcastle a better than 4-1 chance of getting a draw there. If United play Rooney and Hernandez and their best team, which I think they need to do, then they should be the winners. But Newcastle are big to draw at 4-1. I wouldn't give them much of a chance of winning.
And with Harry Redknapp back in the dugout, Tottenham eased to victory over Aston Villa last Monday night. They have 8 wins and a draw in their last 9 league games. Do you give in-form home side West Brom, who are 3-1 to win and 12-5 to draw, any chance of upsetting Spurs?
I would back Spurs in that game. I wouldn't be too keen to back West Brom. Spurs just have so much talent, attacking talent in particular. Modric playing really well, Van der Vaart playing really well. Adebayor scored 2 goals the other night. They've got Gareth Bale, of course, and Aaron Lennon. So there's an awful lot of attacking firepower there. And I would fancy Spurs to win the match. I certainly wouldn't back West Brom to beat them, although Roy Hodgson is doing an okay job at West Brom. They play their football. This should be a real good footballing match. But on talent, I would fancy Spurs, who also have the benefit of Ledley King, who looks fit, which isn't always the case.
And you wrote in the Irish Daily Star on Wednesday that Manchester City were still Premier League favourites, despite another poor Champions League display. They are away to Liverpool on Sunday, and the Reds have the advantage of not playing midweek. After their win away to Chelsea last weekend, are Kenny Dalglish's men good value for a home win at 15-8, or will City be too strong once again on the domestic front?
Well, City are getting away with it in the Premier League because there's so many poor teams in it. They were exposed against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and they were exposed by Napoli on Tuesday night. And the reason is that you get punished more severely at the higher level, at the Champions League level, if you're not doing your stuff. Whereas at Premier League level, they have enough gifted individuals, particularly in attacking players, that they can more or less play in second gear and still win matches comfortably. I feel this is a real test for City. It's a real test of whether they're going to cruise through the Premier League and win it, or whether, when push comes to shove, as it will do in the spring, and the big games are upon them, they'll be able for it. I'd be fairly optimistic that Liverpool will give them a hell of a match. At 2-1, 15-8, 2-1, Liverpool aren't a bad bet. But my bet in that match, and I feel it's a good bet, is the draw. I think City will go there expecting a hard game. I think they'll set up to get a draw. And the way Liverpool are playing, with a degree of confidence, I think, particularly in the big matches, and it was a big match last week at Chelsea, I would fancy that strongly to be a draw. In fact, it's one of my bankers of the week, Liverpool, Manchester City to draw.
Okay, and Robin van Persie can't stop scoring for Arsenal in the Premier League these days. So surely you are practically buying money with odds of 4-6 on him to score at any time at home to Fulham on Saturday. Or will Martin Joe's well-organised defence hold out against the Dutchman?
Well, backing anyone to score at 4-6 in a match is madness. So don't touch it, would be my advice. I don't think Van Persie is playing really well. He's having an outstanding season, scored 2 goals in the Champions League against Dortmund on Wednesday night. But 4-6 for any player to score, even Lionel Messi, is no bet. I know he's got 90 minutes to do it, not for me. Backing odds on is the way to the poorhouse, and that particular bet stinks.
And lastly, what is your Premier League treble for this weekend?
My Premier League treble for this weekend is 3 draws again. We got 2 out of 3 last week. Now there's a number of ways to do this bet. You can have a straight out treble, which will pay 33, 34 to 1 or thereabouts. Or you can have 3 doubles and a treble, which means if only 2 of them came up, as happened last week, you still get about 9 to 1 for the double. So I would say have 3 doubles and a treble. And the matches I'm picking, I think Stoke and Blackburn, there's a very strong chance that that will be a draw. Stoke are not playing well, and Blackburn aren't either. But in the way that game is going to be played, I think there's a very good chance it will be a draw. Norwich and QPR are 2 teams came up from the Championship and are doing quite well in the Premier League. Last week I tipped a draw, Stoke QPR, and that was the one that let us down for the treble. But QPR won the match 3-2 at Stoke, so I would fancy QPR to put up another good performance, and I think Norwich and QPR will be a draw. I also think the Liverpool Manchester City match will be a draw. So the treble is Stoke, Norwich and Liverpool all to draw, and I would have 3 doubles and a treble, and we're getting serious with these bookmakers now, so get on.